In today's video, we're going to be making some proto-putty Angry Birds and a giant 3-foot tall slingshot to shoot them out of. Angry Birds. Do people still play Angry Birds? Angry birds that we can shoot out of a giant slingshot into towers of wood and stone, and pigs that will break on contact with the ground. This should be fun. To start off, we're gonna mix up some proto-putty and make our red Angry Bird. It's not gonna be quite the size of this picture, this is just for reference. I'm aiming for about the size of a tennis ball. Here's the basic plan. We've got proto-putty, we're gonna mix it up in a bunch of different colors and sculpt it into 3 Angry Birds. Then we'll take some 4x4 beams and a large rubber band and make ourselves a giant slingshot that can launch these birds. We don't want to make that much proto-putty and wait so long for it to cure. So we're going to start with foil and wrap our proto-putty around that. That looks like about the right shape. Oh, I'm so good at color theory. Well, we've got our birds made, so now it's time to move on to what throws them. We need to build a giant slingshot. And I'm going to be shooting for a slingshot that is 3 feet tall on top of a base that gives us some leverage to fire it. This board on top of some 2x4s is going to be the base. Let's just get a quick measurement. That is 4 inches combined. Slingshot, of course, is shaped like a giant Y. We want it to be about 18 inches to the fork and then another 18 inches on top of that. And then we'll add 4 inches to the base. So it'll be a 22-inch initial bar and then another 18 inches of forked height. We'll cut 45-degree angles off of both sides of the top so it kind of comes up and then pyramids into a point. I guess pyramid would be on all 4 sides. We're just doing it on 2 sides. beam is gonna attach at the 45-degree angle and we want this joint to meet up. And of course, we're gonna want another one on the other side. So to make those line up, we need to take off another 45-degree corner right here, right where it lines up. Now we're actually gonna do some measuring against the next piece to figure out exactly what angle this is gonna be at. So for now, I'm just gonna cut off about 1 foot of it and then we'll trim it more precisely later. We'll want a total of 18 inches from this point. So about like that, that'll leave our slingshot ending right about here. That looks like it's gonna be pretty good. Now we want these angles to line up just right. So we're gonna mark right there and right there. Lovely. 18 inches. Right about there. If we're off by a little bit, that is so not a problem. That is looking like a giant slingshot. I'm loving it. The one thing I don't like about it is how very boxy it is, and so I think we're gonna take a table saw and cut off all of the corners at 45-degree angles, turning each of these pieces into an octagonal cylinder, and then we're gonna bolt them all together. Our table saw should be set up so that it will now cut off the bottom corner of each of these pieces as I rotate it. I hopefully have it set up so each of the 8 sides will be even, so it's like an equal octagon. We'll see. There's our first piece. The sides might not be 100% equal, but they're close enough for me. It looks pretty good, and that's definitely a rounder look than we had before. So one arm is round. We've got 4 more pieces to go, just the exact same way. There we go, all of our pieces are now trimmed down, and this right here is the biggest offender when I was saying that the lines wouldn't necessarily match up because of the angle we've got cut into it. So we're gonna have some little bits of corners sticking out right there, but that's okay. Now we want this whole thing to be assembled strong and powerfully so I can pull back on it as hard as I want and it's not gonna damage it. So we've got a whole bunch of these bolts. We're gonna do some drilling and some bolting and hook this thing all together. Hopefully those bolts won't run into each other, but we'll see. That is a 3 foot tall slingshot. Well, 3 foot and 4 inches because I added a little bit to the bottom. We now need to make a base that this can rest in so that'll just stay in place and we can easily pull against the elastic, which obviously has not been added yet. But I love how this thing looks. It's good and sturdy. I think it'll hold up well to whatever we shoot out of it. Ugh. Oh, that's heavy. The reason I added 4 extra inches onto the bottom of the slingshot is we're going to add a hole into the base and drop this through. We'll then add lots of supports around where it drops through, so it should be nice and sturdy, and we can pull against it while standing on the platform. We've got the arms and body of the slingshot, and now we need to add on this piece of stretchy latex to be the firing band. This is an exercise band that we are going to repurpose for our own needs. Obviously it needs to be attached a little bit better than just holding it on. Now, the tape won't be visible once we're actually using this because the rubber is going to wrap all the way around and then over the tape. And then once the rubber is wrapped around, the friction of the rubber on the rubber should do a pretty good job of holding it so that the tape isn't even necessary. The tape is mostly just there to hold it while I'm not firing it. It launched, clearly, but if you saw how much it was spinning, and I'm pretty sure it did catch the rubber as it was launching out and it didn't really go straight. It just stuck on something. That's not bad. That worked better. The birds are made, the slingshot is built, and now we need some targets. So join us tomorrow as we turn some eggs into some fragile green pigs, set them up in their nice fancy towers, and use the slingshot to try and knock them down with the birds. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you're not a subscriber yet, hit the bomb to get in the club. If you missed our last video or you want to watch it again, click up here at the top. Click down there if you want to see what the internet thinks you should watch next. That's it for now. Have fun, be safe, see you tomorrow.